Hello friends, welcome back. Today we're going to be working on a polar bear. And this is definitely one of our larger builds. Yeah, I'm sorry. But I wanted to make sure the polar bear was done and done right. And so, yeah, it's a large build. For supplies, you're going to need 984 pieces of white wool. I definitely recommend having a wool farm if you are doing this in survival. You're going to need 6 pieces of black wool, 11 pieces of light gray wool, 4 pieces of gray wool, 14 sea lanterns, 7 ladders, and 1 birch trapdoor. And this is the blueprint that we are looking at for this build. For layer 1, we're going to start with our white wool, and we're going to fill in these outer squares with white wool, and then we're going to put a sea lantern in the middle. There's not going to be much use for this leg going up, but we also want to keep mobs from spawning inside them, unless you want to turn it into some kind of mob spawner, which I did not do. So we're just going to do that for all 4 of the leg pieces here. And then 1 more over here. Nope. And the sea lantern. And then I decided to put the ladder up into the build on this back leg here. So this is what your layer 1 should look like. Layer 2, we're going to start down here in the bottom left corner, and we're going to go around with that white wool all over again. You don't need another light source though. And then on this hind leg, we're going to place that ladder. And this is what your aerial view of layer 2 will look like. Now, layers 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, so the next 5 layers, are going to be the exact same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and speed through it all, and then I will show you what it looks like after layer 7. So after completing those layers, this is what your layer 7 should look like. You should have some pretty good height on those legs, and then make sure your ladder is going all the way up the inside of that leg there. For layer 8, we're going to start in this bottom left corner with a white wool. And then you're going to crouch and place 7 pieces of white wool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then we want to step in and place 1 going towards the legs. Then we need 2 pieces of white wool going forward. And then we have 1 gray wool. And on the inside of this gray wool, we'll have 3 black wool. And then you have a gray wool. Going towards the body, we have 2 white wool. Actually, let's call that 3 white wool, because we need to start building out in this direction. So here we have built the snout, and then this is the head and cheek area. Going towards the body, we are going to place down 6 pieces of white wool, 6 more pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that should connect with the leg here, but we need to step out 1. And now we need to go by the leg. We're going to go back towards the back with 8 more pieces of white wool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then we need to step out 1 more with a piece of white wool there. And then moving towards the back still, we need 9 more pieces of white wool. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. That should take you 1 block past the back legs here. Now we want to go across the back to create the back end of the polar bear. You're going to use 10 pieces of white wool. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Which should bring you 2 blocks past the side of the legs here. We need to move forward 9 blocks of white wool, 9 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Then we want to step in and place a white wool. And then moving towards the face, we need 8 pieces of white wool. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You should go just by this leg here, and you should also connect up with the face there. Then, the only thing we have left to do is to fill in this entire space with white wool. Now in this space right above the ladder, you will place one more ladder piece so that you can get in, and then fill in the 2 spaces next to it. And this is what your layer 8 should look like. For layer 9, we're going to start in this bottom left corner here. We're going to start with 1 light gray wool. Right next to it will be a gray wool, and then a black wool, then a gray wool and a light gray wool. Going towards the back, we're going to place 1 white wool here and a sea lantern on the inside of that. Then coming back, we're going to outline the entire outline in white wool. Back here in the back, we are also going to add our birch trapdoor so that you can close off that space there. And then just continue around with your white wool. And here in the front, we're going to place 2 pieces of white wool and 1 sea lantern behind that gray wool there. And this is what your layer 9 should look like. For layer 10, we're going to start in this bottom left corner. We're going to start with a white wool and 3 light gray wool and a white wool. And then we're also going to fill in the top of the snout here with white wool for these 2 rows. And then we're going to just follow the outline all the way around once more with the white wool. Back here in the back, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. On this 5th one here, we're going to place a white wool and a white wool outside. White wool outside, white wool outside for 3, and then just continue on with the pattern. So we've just started the tail portion of the polar bear. And this is what layer 10 looks like. So for layer 11, we are actually done with the snout here, so we're going to start on this corner right here as our bottom left corner. We're going to start with a white wool, and then we need to place a black wool for the eye. Then we have 3 pieces of white wool, 3, 1 black wool for the other eye, and a white wool. And then we're going to circle all the way around with the white wool once again. And don't forget to fill in that space there with the tail. And here's a look at your layer 11. For layer 12, we're going to start in this bottom left corner once again. We're going to use our light gray wool and place down 3 pieces of it, and then 1 white wool and 3 pieces of light gray wool. Then 1 white wool here, and on the inside a sea lantern. And we'll continue all the way around with the white wool. It's funny, I have been trying to post these in short form content on like TikTok and Instagram, and even here as a short, for people who just like to watch the build process and not necessarily the tutorial. And I've been getting these comments from somebody who keeps saying it's really weird that you end up in the exact same spot after each layer. I'm like, friend, it's intentional. I want to show people in the tutorial what things should look like. And then don't forget to place a sea lantern here on the inside to balance out the light. And this is what your layer 12 should look like. For layer 13, we're going to start here with a white wool. White wool all the way across the front, and we're going to fill in the head space here with more white wool. All the way to this back corner there. Okay, now that the head is filled in, we're not done here just yet. I'm going to have you come over here and count in 1, 2, and 3, and place one coming off of the side. We're going to form the ears here. We're going to do the same on this side. 1, 2, 3. Place one here to form the ear. And then we're going to circle all the way around once more to create the body. Back here in the back, we are actually done with the tail, so we're not going to add on to the tail in this layer. Lastly, I am going to have you add sea lanterns on the inside corner of here and here, just to try to keep those bats from spawning in your space. And you don't have to use the sea lantern, you can totally use something else. I would not recommend torches depending on the server you are playing in. And this is a look at your layer 13. For layer 14, we are down here in this far corner because we're going to finish off these ears. So just place 2 white wool there and there to make the ears of the polar bear. Then we're going to come over here and we'll place white wool all the way across the body here. At this point, the body only shifts 1 block up. So we will go ahead and fill in this entire square here with the front portion of the polar bear body. And then for the rear portion of the polar bear body, we are just going to outline all the way around. And the last thing for this layer is to place the sea lanterns. And in this layer, I placed sea lanterns in all 4 corners of this rear portion of the body. And this is what your layer 14 should look like. Layer 15 is our very last layer, and all we are going to do is create one more layer of white wool to cap off the rear of the polar bear. So you can go ahead and make a square outline if you want, and then just fill in, or you can fill in the entire square as you go, however you like to fill in these kinds of builds. And there is your layer 15. And just like that, you have your very own polar bear in your world. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if there's a mob that you would like to see get done. That is going to be everything for today. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will chat with you all really soon. Bye, friends!